Hey y'all, DrLupo here. Today's video is about Goatmoth's cheater video that he put out. For anybody that didn't know, Goat went ahead and bought cheats himself and did his best, I think, to try and put, I don't know, a bit of visual evidence on the cheating situation in Tarkov. Anybody that plays a lot, obviously I play a whole crap ton, knows that from time to time it can be pretty bad. But I'd like to think I gave as level-headed a response to the video and the community's reaction as I possibly could. Do me a favor in the comments, let me know what you think, and enjoy. There's a guy named Goatmoth who is a Tarkov player. Did the quote-unquote unthinkable, so to say. Oh God, the video. Oh, we're absolutely going to talk about the video, as well as an interesting collection of opinions from Tarkov streamers and the community as a whole. What it means for the game. Is it a surprise? All that. Before we even get into talking about the video, I think I want to make sure that it is apparent to everybody, very clear. One, first off, my opinion about, just like every content creator, my opinion about cheating or this video just in general should always be taken with a grain of salt, because content creators spend an exorbitant amount of time putting in, hours and hours and hours into the game. And so our opinions, our POVs of Tarkov they're going to be skewed because we put in an exorbitant amount of time. Right? For an average player, let's say you put in 10 hours a week because you have like a full-time job, you've got, other stuff going on, you got a family, you got school, you got whatever, you play other games, all that. Obviously your sample size is going to be different than that of someone who spends 60 hours a week plus playing the same stupid game. So please do yourself a favor. Think before you take in the opinions of content creators and turn them into your own. I please encourage you, even my own opinion, please take it with a grain of salt, because everything that I say about it is obviously coming through my lens versus anybody else's, right? So that baseline is established. Second thing I want to make sure people understand is that my income does not my relevance, my livelihood does not depend on Tarkov. And the reason that is important is because a lot of content creators are being judged appropriately, I think, for their response to this video that Go put out, as well as the cheating situation in general in Tarkov. Because I'm a contract streamer, I'm good. Like, I can play anything else. I get good viewership on other games. I'm not thankfully not dependent on Tarkov. I know some people are, and some people have been called shills or simps for BSG. Obviously, a lot of people are pursuing like getting a streamer item and all that stuff. They want to be on BSG's good side, that kind of thing, right? So I just want to make sure that is that's out there, that's understood, that I'm trying to be, for the position that I'm in, as unbiased about Tarkov and the cheating situation as possible, at least from what I think I'm trying to do best, right? So this guy, Goat, he was trying to figure out the situation with cheating in Tarkov and do his due diligence and get a solid perspective on just how often you are running into players that are playing unfairly in Escape from Tarkov. It's a thing that, for anybody that's played longer than 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, knows that cheating in this game has been rampant for quite a while. Even to use as an example, potentially proof of that, I want to put this up just real quick because I think that it's important. Oh, this is grabbing the wrong display. So on the far left is a post that was just recently made by the account Train Fender, who, for anybody that does not know, on Reddit is Nikita. He had posted, first of all, hello everybody, it's been a long time. I was off Reddit. They stopped going to Reddit almost entirely for a while because the toxicity of the subreddit got pretty strong. And a lot of people were very unhappy with the situation and the way that BSG was handling things in the game in general. So they just kind of stopped paying attention to it. Or they did read it, they just never responded. But he made a post that mirrors a post he made roughly 3 years ago, as well as 4 years ago, regarding the cheating situation in Escape from Tarkov, saying things like, 4 years ago, cheaters are banned instantly every day. Some are banned later or in waves for cumulative effect, which is the thing that we knew about. But this same mentality is kind of echoed throughout all 3 posts that he's made over the course of time, including number 2 on the most recent one says, right now we ban several thousand cheaters a day. For anybody that just quick math on that, that's bad. That's bad. Several thousand a day is astronomical. That is a crap load of people every single day. I don't know if that's inflated. Maybe there's a mistranslation there, or something. Maybe he meant a month. Maybe he meant several hundred. I don't know. But if it is truly several thousand a day, let's take this at face value. That's a lot. I would bet that's not true, but I don't know. So I can only go based on what Nikita has said. I just wanted that to be out there as like a thing, so in case people did not know, even Nikita has gone so far as to acknowledge that the situation is bad. They do say that BattlEye is improving. They do updates multiple times, even a week, which is fantastic. That being said, clearly it's not necessarily helping, because this video from GOAT, and I'm not going to show all of it because I want to touch on a couple things about showing it in general, at least my opinion about showing cheats, that kind of thing. But I've watched the entire video. It's 42 minutes and 25 seconds long, in which he basically says that he didn't really know a decent way to detect whether or not someone in the raid was cheating. He downloads it takes like 5 minutes to download and install and get running a cheat solution that would show him, ESP, that kind of thing. He does point out in the video that it is actually difficult to capture the cheat UI because of the way that it is implemented in OBS, because there's like stuff to avoid showing cheats while streaming, that kind of thing. Only first 20 minutes is decent IMO. I actually think about the first half is the part that's worth watching, regardless. So he gets this cheat installed. Can't figure out exactly what to do to detect other people until he starts wiggling at people. And the thing that he's doing is running around. He stops and he'll point at a guy that he might think potentially has ESP, and he just does a wiggle back and forth. We're talking through multiple walls. That person looks back, wiggles as well, and at that point you have clean-cut acknowledgement that the other person knows that you're cheating because you're looking directly at them and wiggling, as basically a way to say, hey, I see you, you see me, let's go our separate ways. The point of the video inevitably becomes that, roughly from his experience, and he doesn't show statistics or any, let's call it empirical data, but it's from his experience, which means it's anecdotal. So you got to take that with a grain of salt as well. But roughly 60% of raids have at least someone in them who will acknowledge to other cheaters that they are cheating. You can assume a couple things from that, in my opinion, and that the biggest one is that there have got to be plenty of people in there that are also cheating that do not wiggle back, or that he does not get a chance to acknowledge, that kind of thing. He also may have been running into, he said that he did some night, some day raids, did different maps, that kind of thing. But roughly 60%. Let's take that at face value, okay? Let's say 60% of raids have a cheater in it. This is a thing that a lot of content creators probably have a feeling of. I mean, you've watched us enough, me and Pool and Tim and Jen and whoever and Amy, our group of people. And I like to imagine we try to stay pretty level-headed about the cheating situation because I don't want to lose myself in every single person is cheating. I will say that comments like General Sam's in the video, who said, I've reported every single person that's killed me for 2 wipes because I'm a spiteful, angry little man. Turns out I was probably right 50% of the time. While if funny and, spiteful, also probably relatively true. This video, whether you like it or not, is a good one. It's good. I don't like that he cheated, but to anybody saying that he is advertising cheats, he is not any more or less guilty than people like Trey, who put up a video on his TikTok of showing the invisibility cheat that people have developed and started using in factory. This is not any more or less advertising than that, because GOAT doesn't say where he got it from, how much he paid, anything like that. He's not telling you where to get them from, just like Trey on his TikTok did not tell people where to get them from. So if GOAT is guilty of advertising cheats, Trey is just as guilty of advertising cheats. It's the same thing. In which case, I don't think that this is going to influence one way or another, because quite honestly, even pulling this stream up, sometimes you will get ads that I have no control over showing fucking cheats. So, I mean, you go to Google and type in Escape from Tarkov cheats, and bitch, it is very easy to find where to download shit. Trade blocked and Lupo inbound. Okay, cool, whatever. The bottom line is, anybody that said that this is advertising any more or less, or any more than fucking Google or us talking about it on stream is an idiot. He's not advertising anything. People make this kind of video once every couple years. Pesley in the comments section, it's actually the pinned comment in there, said, this is probably the last time this needs to be done for a while. And I agree. Anybody else that goes through and makes a look at how bad cheating is video by cheating themselves is merely doing it for the additional views that come off of it. Some people might be jealous that GOAT got this video done and it has 645,000 views in 2 days because they didn't think to do it themselves. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is, this shit doesn't need to be done again for quite a while, until we maybe need an assessment. And the point of that is that it is so bad that if a content creator needs to risk their integrity to show cheats from the other side of how bad it is, that's bad. I think a lot of the commentary from content creators saying that this is a bad video is very confusing to me, because infighting between streamers and content creators and the community as a whole merely right now is acting as a distraction from the real problem, and that's that Tarkov is riddled with fucking cheaters. There's no reason for us to go after any of these content creators that are going after this guy are missing the entire point of this. The point of this video is to show what it looks like and how bad it is, because the number of times I see stories on Reddit or whatever, whoever saying, oh, the cheating is so bad. And then you see the reply guys there that are like, well, I've never run into a cheater my entire time. There's a decent chance it's because you're bad. There's a decent chance it's because you've died to a cheater and you don't realize it. Maybe you don't play enough. Doesn't matter. The infighting between content creators going after GOAT, y'all, listen, I will be your dad in this situation, because I know a lot of the people that have spoken out negatively about this are younger. That's fine. I'm not going to judge you for that. But the bottom line is, this shit is fine. Don't do it yourself. But this 100% needed to be done to show people, to break away from the anecdotal typed out stories and say, hey, look, this is how fucking bad it is. This needed to be done. So hats off to GOAT for taking the risk. I know it's scary. I know a lot of people are probably going to come at his throat from the creator community. Let me tell you, GOAT, if you do watch this back, fuck them. Don't worry about them, okay? The bottom line is, the game is in a shit state. People that are afraid of it being exposed are potentially afraid because it might affect their bottom line, because as Tarkov loses popularity because of the cheating problem is fucking rampant, then they might lose viewership. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, my career does not hinge on the success or failure of Tarkov. I could switch to DMZ, I could switch to whatever and be fine. So I have no problem being 100% real with you about this, is that this video is a good video. I hate that he had to do it. I don't like it. It doesn't make me happy. But the bottom line is, fucking cheating, cheat investigator discords and all the stuff that the community is trying to do, that these content creators are trying to do, none of this shit should be happening in the first place, because the bottom line is, BSG needs to get this under control. Okay? It's bad. It's really bad. If you can go into one and an estimate of each raid is that 60% of those raids, there's a 60% chance that you're going to run into someone who has ESP. If you ever had a dead raid, decent chance ESP players are avoiding you. Even in the video, he comes into contact with somebody that says that their KD is too high and they need to lower it because it looks suspicious. They are specifically avoiding or blowing themselves up. You ever heard nades go off at the beginning of raids and then nothing after that, or people hitting mines? They do that kind of thing. They avoid running into people as desperately as they can. It makes sense. And it's a thing that I think that we've talked about in the community for a while. You've heard me try really hard. I hate being the guy that dies in a way and goes, that guy, I think, well, that was a little suspicious. I hate being that guy because I don't think there's no way to improve off of taking that as the excuse. I hate that. I hate having to find use that as the excuse as to why I died, because I want to improve as a player. I want to improve the game as often as I can, right? But you have very clear evidence, at least while technically anecdotal. It's a small sample size, even in the grand scheme of things, but it's still pretty shit that this is what we run into, right? It's bad. I think the video is good. I think that people need to be a little more level-headed about the situation. I don't want anybody else to do this, because you don't want to perpetuate. But the idea of accusing GOAT of advertising cheats with a video like this, when other content creators are literally putting up videos that show cheats, is like, are you fucking good? So yeah, I will say one thing that I found interesting to see, a comment that I read in the subreddit. I don't remember where I saw it specifically, but somebody said they want to start seeing streamers put cameras pointing at their monitors to prove that they're not cheating too, because some people are dismissing it or saying, being negative about it. I don't know why you guys surprised the video. Cheater posted his cheating video, KEKW. It's takes like that are just like, that's ignorable, because what GOAT actually did is put a video out that showed exactly what the situation is like right now. But anyway, I digress. The bottom line is that idea of the speedrunner cam, putting the camera over your shoulder, is actually not a bad idea. And I would love to see a number of these content creators that were dismissive of this video do that specifically. Yeah. So anyway, to summarize all the way back to the beginning, if you do have time, please go to Goatmoth's video. I tagged him in the description. I think that works. You can click on it and go to it. I think that works. But either way, it's just G0ATMOTH, Goatmoth. Go watch his video, The Wiggle That Killed Tarkov. It is a very good one. You should hit the like button on it. I'm glad that he did it. Nobody needs to do it again for quite a while. And yeah, the game is riddled with fucking cheaters, and it's that's a thing that we've known for a while. I will say that's not necessarily new information, but seeing it is very different than just talking about it, and I think that's good. I just want to put out there again the same thing that I said at the very beginning. As a content creator, I play the game way too much, so please take everything that I say with a grain of salt, just like every other content creator. Okay, we are not average players. We play a stupid amount. Our perspectives on the game are skewed in comparison to the average casual player, and so that should be assessed when you hear these videos. When you hear these takes, when you hear us talk about these kind of things, please keep that in your mind when you hear it. Yeah, sucks, but it is what it is, dude. GOAT did a good video. I'm glad that he did it, and anybody dismissing it, I'm curious about ulterior motives. That's all. Use code DrLupo. Use code